Hi, I'm Dr. Asha Priyanka, your public health dentist, and I don't believe in memorizing the subject. I believe in understanding it once and never forgetting it. So let me start today with a simple story. Imagine two dentists. One spends his life drilling, filling, extracting. Yes, he's busy every day. And another one does something different. He prevents disease before the drill is even needed. Now tell me, who do you think truly changes more lives? Public health realized something quite powerful. It's the fact that the best disease, it's the one that never occurs. And this is the idea that gave birth to the concept of prevention, our topic today. Let's take a pause. What is this prevention? Prevention is defined as an action aimed at reducing the complications, progression, and of the disease while maintaining the health. But I want to simplify it in your head for you. What prevention means is if there's a disease, it either stops it, slows it down, or softens it. That's it. It stops the disease before it starts, it slows it if it has already started, and it softens the damage if it has progressed. And this is how I want to structure it today, because when the structure is clear, memory becomes very effortless. Now, what are the goals of prevention? Over here, the goals are 1, to promote health, 2, to preserve health, 3, to restore health, or 4, to minimize suffering. Do you notice something here? Prevention is not anti-disease. It is very pro-health. And this shift in thinking is what's very important. Now, why does this prevention even matter? Why is it so powerful? Because isn't it cheaper than treatment? We always hear this, prevention is better than cure. It also reduces the disease burden in the community and it improves one's quality of life. And also it promotes healthy aging. In dentistry, prevention can be seen in the form of fluoride mouth rinses, sealants, school oral health education programs, our HPV vaccinations. All of these prevent diseases before there's any need of surgical intervention. And this is why public health dentistry is bigger than the dental chair. What is the spectrum of prevention? This is where all students get stuck. So let's make this unforgettable. Imagine disease like a movie. There's the bad guy, our disease, and the movie flows in the following way. So there is before the villain appears, when he starts causing any damage, and when the damage is irreversible. So prevention also follows the same pattern. There are 4 levels to prevention. First is primordial prevention, next is primary, then secondary and tertiary prevention. Now, remember this sequence because this is how the disease is advanced. Let's first come to primordial prevention. The first is primordial prevention, and this is an exam favorite. So this was introduced by Strasser in 1978, and primordial prevention acts even before the risk factors develop. So it prevents the emergence of risk factor themselves. For example, instead of telling adults to stop smoking, we can create tobacco-free laws so that the children never even start. So if the risk factor is tobacco, the laws that prevent the children from starting are our measures for primordial prevention. And another example is instead of treating obesity, we can design cities where people walk more often. This targets the lifestyle, this targets people's socioeconomic factors and also environmental influences. And this is the prevention at the level of the society. It's a very commonly asked question in the exams. And if you're ever confusing primordial and primary, you have to remember this. Primordial prevents habits also. And primary prevents the disease. This one sentence, 1 mark saved. The next concept is primary prevention. So primary prevention acts before the disease begins. It's in the pre-pathogenesis stage. This includes health promotion, health education, environmental sanitation, nutritional interventions, and specific protection. And dental examples will include plaque control and education, pit and fissure sealants, community water fluoridation, and sports mouth guards. So basically, primary prevention is proactive. The patients are still healthy. We intervene before their suffering begins. This is why it's safe, it's also cost effective, and it's a very powerful tool. Then comes our secondary prevention. Now, the disease has started, but it's still early. Secondary prevention focuses on early detection and prompt treatment. The examples for this would be oral cancer screening. We want to detect it early so that treatment can be more effective. And next, radiographs when there are some hidden caries. Then scaling to prevent any periodontal pockets. Also, early fillings that are done. Over here, we can see one exam trap. Students often think that when the disease starts, there's no point of the word prevention. This is not true. Secondary prevention prevents the progress and complications of the disease. That's why it still comes under prevention. So you have to remember that primary equals to no disease, secondary equals to early disease. Simple. Now we come to tertiary prevention. Over here, the disease has advanced, the damage has occurred, and tertiary prevention will focus on two things: disability limitation and rehabilitation. So the disease flow comes as first the disease, then it causes an impairment, that causes a disability, and that causes handicap. The dental examples for this are our dentures, implants, periodontal surgery that takes place, and cleft palate corrections. We can't erase anything, but what we can do is reduce the person's suffering and also try and restore their function, that is to eat and chew. This is what happens in tertiary prevention. Also, an important part is rehabilitation. This is a part of tertiary prevention. What does it include? Firstly, medically, it restores the function. Psychologically, it restores the confidence of a person. Socially, it restores or brings reintegration of them into the society. And vocationally, it restores their livelihood. This lets us understand that dentistry is not just about teeth. It's about a person's dignity. We should never forget that. Now let's see a concept called high risk versus population strategy. Over here, there are two approaches. First, the high risk strategy. In this, we identify individuals that are at high risk for that disease. For example, we apply sealants for high caries risk children. Then there is the population strategy, where we target the entire community. And an example for this is water fluoridation. Public health uses both individual and society, and the balance between the both is always very powerful. Now in 30 seconds, let's just go through some revision gold, okay? Firstly, primordial prevents risk factors. Secondly, primary prevention prevents the disease. Then secondary prevention, it detects early diseases. Tertiary prevention reduces disabilities. And let's think of a timeline here. Before risk, before disease, early disease, and late disease. Done. If this topic felt clearer today, it's not because it's easy, it's because it was structured properly. And that's exactly why I wrote the Medi Study Goes Public Health Dentistry Mind Map book for you. This is to organize what textbooks scatter and to sit with you through the revision even when I'm not on the screen. If you haven't purchased it yet, and if you want to, you can at our website and Dental Cart, Flipkart, Amazon. You can understand the topic once, revise it calmly, and walk into the exam steady. Finally, all I want to say is that dentistry treats diseases while public health prevents it. That's the difference that changes everything. Now, let's come to a flashcard and MCQ from this topic. What is the aim of primordial prevention? Answer is preventing emergence of risk factors. Let's see an MCQ. The concept of primordial prevention was introduced by A. Llewellyn Clark, B. John Snow, C. Strasser, and D. Pittenkoffer. The answer is C. Strasser. Now, if you could answer that before I reveal the answer and it helped you think clearer, you can like and comment on the video so that I know that this format works for you. Also, more structured MCQs and flashcards are waiting inside the app. So please go solve them while this logic is quite fresh. I'd like you to also share this with your study group, because public health becomes much easier when we stop struggling silently. I really do look forward to seeing you all the next time. Thank you.